Session 10. Just kind of give a quick recap. You guys were still at the cabin at the beginning of the session. You guys were kind of trying to figure out how to fill some downtime. Before you guys got to searching for water, Peter sort of got Bunk and Silas together because he'd been harassing Marcus for a while, and he kind of figured he wasn't getting any information from Marcus. So he tried to extract some information from Silas and Bunk. Things get a little heated because Peter effectively started to question whether or not you guys had killed his other two friends. As this whole scenario starts to escalate and gains some tension, Macaulay very dramatically detonated some C4 that pretty much blew up the entire place, killing himself, several NPCs, and wounding most of you in the process. In the fallout, Peter killed Alex, who had one of his arms blown off. Did it as a mercy killing, so to speak. Peter questioned Marcus a little bit more about the gold. Marcus lied to him. In all of the sort of like the disarray, you guys heard a voice off in the distance calling out for Georgia, and Shane's new character Dorian arrived on the scene. He had a very sketchy description of his relationship with Georgia. Peter suggested that you guys move on from the place because he was worried that the explosion was going to draw attention. He also mentioned that he had a plan for how he wanted to basically smuggle himself out of the United States. You guys encountered a group of bandits on trail as you were traveling. One of them appeared to be injured, that his intestines had been spilled out, that he'd basically been disemboweled. Turns out the whole thing was a ruse. They attacked you, Marcus got stabbed, fell unconscious. You guys killed all the bandits. You eventually found your way to a camp. You made camp. You collected some water that you guys desperately needed. Somebody trapped a fox. You cooked up some fox meat, and then you guys settled in for the night. But during the night, you discovered that you were near a Sovereign Vanguard patrol route. They kind of gave the impression that they may have seen you. There was sort of a heightened standoff between Bunk and one of these soldiers. Turns out that he didn't see Bunk. And then as the patrol moved on with their route, you guys made camp for the rest of the night. I think that's where we left off, is that you guys are going to spend the night at this campsite, and then at first light, make your way towards this place that this destination that Peter is talking about. I don't remember who volunteered to keep watch. Does anybody else remember?
It wasn't me, because I think
it was
needing the rest.
I think it was me and Bunk.
Yeah, Bunk and Dorian were going to stay up on watch. And there are now two very awesome accessories in the group. So Bunk crafted a very fine fox hat.
That's right.
And gifted it to our friend Peter. And I made, out of my meager wolf pelt, a very raggedy wolf hat.
Yeah, there was some crafting going on from that fox that you guys captured. So yeah, you guys are going to settle in, camp for the evening. Bunk and Dorian are keeping watch. Is that what I understand? Yes. Let me pull up Bunk's character sheet real quick, because I'm going to be rolling for Bunk tonight since Matt's not with us tonight. Okay. And I just need, let's have Dorian give me an observation roll. Okay. And All right. So the first 3 hours of this shift kind of go by pretty unremarkably. It's quiet. Bunk mutters to himself about, should have made some stew out of that fox. But other than that, the evening's pretty quiet. I'm going to roll for the second half of this evening.
Oh. Is that Peter?
This is interesting. So for the second half of this stretch, you can kind of feel. I mean, the two of you that are asleep, the ones that are asleep, don't really notice this, but Dorian, you notice that wind is starting to pick up. Temperature's starting to drop. And eventually you feel like one raindrop right on your face. And then another. And then another. And then slowly, it's just, you guys are in the middle of a downpour. I need everybody to give me a... it starts raining hard enough that the campfire actually starts to go out. So I'm going to need everybody to give me a stamina roll.
God dang.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Not a good night so
Um,
far.
It's gonna be a physical dice night soon.
Is this resisting cold or something else?
Yeah, this is going to be resisting cold.
Oh, then my wolf hat comes into play.
Yeah, so give yourself a
Good
gear
thing.
bonus. We'll say one more. Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Um,
Clutch.
so anybody that's failed that roll is going to have to take the cold condition because you guys are basically soaked. It's the middle of the night. You guys are at high altitude, and it's fucking cold. The storm does not just kind of like come in and pass. It's starting to gain some momentum, and you realize that this is a pretty gnarly storm, and you start seeing lightning strikes nearby, like thunder, big lightning. It's like the kind of lightning that sort of like arcs in these huge like networking streaks across the sky. And then eventually, lightning strikes this giant jack pine that's right nearby your campsite, and it splits and just explodes. Wood shrapnel and splinters go everywhere, and half of this tree starts falling down right into the middle of the campsite. I need everybody to make a mobility roll.
Oh, okay.
And that's so the people that took cold, that's a -1.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Wow.
I got 1-6.
I got
Sweet.
1.
Bunk needs to make one too. Mobility, shit. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say his boots give him a bonus. Okay. So
Oh!
what happened?
It was like glitching, and then it rolled over to a second 6. Sorry.
So everybody. So I'm guessing Marcus is the only one that did not succeed.
No, I succeeded.
Oh, did everybody
I got
succeed?
I got a 6.
I failed.
Okay.
Silas failed.
So I need Silas to roll a base, just a d6. 5. Jesus Christ.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
when this tree explodes, you are standing nearby it, and you just get blasted with shrapnel from this tree effectively exploding, and you're going to take 5 damage.
Who, me?
No, Silas.
Oh, okay. God damn, I was like, I'm dead again? It's bleeding all over.
What do you guys want to do?
I want to like run to like some shelter or something. Maybe.
I
What
mean,
time of,
go
is
ahead.
it like early in the morning? Is it still dark outside?
I would say at this point it's about 5 a.m. Like it's early morning. The sun is not quite up yet, but it's early morning.
I guess I'd just be kind of like dazed, looking around, trying to figure out what the fuck just happened to me.
Okay.
Like that's pretty rough. I am very low right now.
So let's say that what you were asking about your stamina increase, does that automatically increase it? Let's say that rather than being at full, it would give you an additional health point from where you were at currently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But yeah, so you guys are in the middle of a downpour. It is a thunderstorm. A tree literally just got hit by lightning and exploded in your campsite. There's half a tree is laying down in the middle of your campsite. You figure you're at least another hour before daylight. What do you guys want to do?
Real quick, Ryan,
Yeah.
a little above table. I wanted to spend 5 of my experience because I've got 0 healing. I can just add 1 to my healing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then my mobility was at 1.
Mhm.
So if I want to move that up 2, that's the other 5. So I can move mobility to 2.
No,
And
you're
healing
to
to
go
1.
from 1 to 2. It's 10 XP.
It is 10. Okay.
Yeah. It's
So
always
anything I got 0 in.
Yep.
Okay.
if you to go from 0 to 1 is 5. To go from 1 to 2 is 10.
Okay. So I don't know if that helps, but I'm going to add that healing point, and then I'll do crafting, because crafting is also 0. So I'll
Okay.
do that. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
done.
No worries. Yeah. So
So are we like in the open?
you guys were
basically?
kind of tucked away in a campsite that was sheltered by trees, which was, kind of keeping some of the rain off of you until it became a deluge. But now these trees are just magnets for lightning.
Let's try and get away from the river. I
So
don't know how bad this is. We should get away from flash flooding dangers.
the map for the region that you guys are in right now is in the 300 days text chat. If you look at it, Peter had mentioned that you guys were heading northeast towards Tabernash. And so everything that's on that route in front of you is basically just open meadow. The mountains are to the southwest of you. Basically, you guys are in a valley, and so the mountains are to the southwest of you. That's where you guys just came from when you were coming out of Winter Park. But you guys are in a valley between 2 mountain ranges. And so everything that's to the northeast of you on that route is going to be basically open prairie. Or open meadow.
We don't want to be the tallest things.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's not, it's not short grass. These are, I would say the grass that you're seeing is, it's a few feet tall. It's tall enough that, elk will bed down, and find good cover. But yeah, outside of that is open. There's no real cover, so to speak.
And is Silas mobile still, or is he?
Silas still.
I missed that.
Silas still, or yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's not fine. He's beaten up, but
Yeah.
he's not unconscious, and he's not mobily impaired, so to speak.
Yeah, I can move.
Okay, so should we try to get to a place where we've got some kind of not shelter, but something to block us at least in one direction. He said that to the southwest there's mountains, like just something to give like an elevation change that we've got something blocking at least one of our directions. Asking the group Marcus would be doing.
Well, going southwest towards the mountains is counterproductive to Peter's goal, if I understand it correctly. So, I know
Where's
that
the map
moving.
again?
It's in the 300 days text chat on the Discord server.
Hashtag 300 days.
How far back is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's a
Oh,
ways.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. I see it.
But Peter does speak up, and he says, I forgot Peter's voice all of a sudden. We need to get to the rodeo. It's in Tabernash. We can find cover there.
Do you feel like you know the way from here?
Yes.
All right, let's go. We wanted to get out at first light anyway. This is a bit of an earlier start.
Okay. So just like normal, whenever we travel, somebody's going to need to navigate. Somebody's going to need to keep watch.
I can do navigate. I've got the map and the compass still.
Okay.
I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. I'm just happy to be part of the group.
This Dorian.
Yeah, this is Dory.
Freaking my mind.
I can observe.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody, whoever needs to keep watch, just give me an observation roll. Ooh. All right.
That'll do.
I forgot that.
And then I just need somebody to navigate.
Let's see. That's survival, correct?
Yeah. And you got that map and compass, so give yourself a +2 gear bonus.
And that's the black, right?
Correct.
So hold on.
Okay. Cool. So Peter points out that he's like, we can either hide in the grass, or we can just take the trail. And if you look on the map, he's pointing on the map, and you can see on the map there's an annotated trail that says Elk Meadow Trail. And this is the trail. Now, just to be clear, this is the trail that, the Vanguard Patrol was on when they passed by your campsite the night before.
What would the terrain be like if we were just slightly off the trail enough that we could follow the trail but not be on it?
Yeah, I mean, it would be open meadow. Again, tall grass. Like, if you were concerned about being seen, you could always try and take cover in the taller grass. I would say with your bum foot, travel along the trail would be easier on you.
What do you guys want to do? Do you want to take our chances?
It'd be nice to avoid the patrol if we can. And it is a shorter distance just to head straight north.
Let's do it. I'll just drag my special foot along.
Okay. So you guys are going to hike along you guys are going to avoid the trail. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
just gonna
You
go
guys are good with
straight,
it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Straight north.
So, Marcus, you're navigating.
Yes,
Peter's effectively telling you what to look for, and the job as a navigator is to, aside from just knowing where to go, you're literally finding the route from point A to point B. Like if you were rock climbing, so to speak, you would be the one that points out where all the handholds are, et cetera, et cetera. So you're literally finding the route. So as much as Peter's like, we go this way, the group is pretty much following you. Who was keeping watch? Or who was keeping watch?
Silas.
Silas.
Yeah, I had 2 6s.
Perfect. So you guys head out on this. You know, you're far enough off trail that you would be inconspicuous, but you're keeping your bearing with the trail, so to speak. It's close enough that you can kind of see it as you're making your way. And you start hiking. You get about an hour in. And up ahead, Silas, what you see is that patrol that made its way past your camp the night before. You can see 3 of them. They're in sort of a triangular formation. There's one guy out front and 2 sort of behind him, on either side of his flanks. But they are walking in your direction.
Did you say they're on the trail?
They are on the trail, yeah.
Okay, so I, hold fist up, be quiet, and kind of like draw their attention over to where I see them, 3 guys. And I say, just like get low and let's kind of move no longer parallel to the trail, kind of away from them. So we're increasing our distance from the trail.
Okay. So you guys are going to try to avoid them?
I would like to avoid them.
I'll bet you do.
It'd be nice to have some C4 right now. Maybe somebody could sneak up there and stick it on their caravan.
I do have a hand grenade if it comes to it.
Just launch it.
I love that. Okay. So if you guys are going to try and avoid the patrol, I need everybody to give me a stealth roll.
Yes. That's a 7 plus 2 for my camo jacket. The 9 minus 1 for my fold, so 8.
Nice. That's a lot of ones. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Plus 2.
Okay,
here.
success.
6, 8.
Okay, let's see what Bunk does here. 3, 4.
The stealthiest
here we go
of
with-
all.
God damn it, Bunk.
He is going to push this. Sweet. Okay.
not Bunk.
Wait.
So, all of you guys are. Oh, he's going to take a point of stress though, so he pushed that. Oh, he panics. So, I love this.
He's gonna come back
He's
next
gonna
time we
roll a
play and not have a
D6.
character. He's gonna be dead.
That's a
Just have his
2
husk that we're
plus
carrying.
1, so 3. So he starts. He's trying to hide, but he's still a little shaken up.
Farts real loud.
Yeah, but he farts really loud. He's still kind of shaken up from the fact that he got woke up in the middle of the night, in the middle of this storm, and his camo jacket is completely soaked through. So he's trying to hide, but he's a little nervous, but he manages to keep it together. So you guys, I'm gonna roll for these guys now. Collectively, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. So you guys are you guys staying still, or are you guys kind of try and make your way through the grass past them as they kind of pass you? Or are you guys just hunkering down?
Matt, you're the lookout, or Silas, you're the lookout. What are we doing?
I originally said we were kind of trying to slowly move, no longer parallel with the trail, to try and increase our distance from them.
Okay.
But if we're looking around and our motion makes a little bit too much kind of waves in the grass here, or are we still in a rainstorm?
It's lightened up, but yes, it's still raining.
Yeah, I'd
That'll
say just
help.
like keep going.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
it slow.
Perfect. So as they start moving towards you, You guys start making your distance. You're almost going a little bit out of your way in terms of the direct route that you had towards your destination. So this is going to take you a little bit out of your way. But the point being is that you're separating yourself from this this patrol that's en route coming towards you. And you, as they pass, I mean, you're separated enough, but it's the three of them that are talking, and you can hear somebody say something about a blockade along the highway going into Fraser. And you also hear another one talking about Major Sullivan. You're not really able to pick up what the context of the conversation is specifically, but you do hear information about a Vanguard blockade that's at the entrance of Fraser. And they're talking about somebody named Major Sullivan. But they don't notice you. They keep moving along trail. They don't seem to notice you, and as you guys continue past, keep heading on towards the destination, I assume?
Yeah. Didn't one of us, maybe Silas, wasn't he Vanguard adjacent at some point? Would he maybe know who the Sullivan was?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, give me an insight roll. Or just give me either give me an insight roll or just a flat wits roll. Whichever's better for you.
Not a good night, boys.
Yeah,
Nope.
you guys, I'm seeing a lot
Rolls
of
are
ones
going
tonight.
poorly.
You don't particularly like the name. You hear it, and it doesn't particularly resonate with you. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys moving on. Okay. So as the patrol passes by, Peter sort of regains the focus of the group. He's like, "We need to keep moving. It's not much farther." And as you guys spend another, let's say, hour traveling, which would be, yeah, it would be about right. Peter points up ahead, and he says, "That's it." And what he's pointing at is this old abandoned rodeo. And you can see it. It's sort of dilapidated. It's got the grandstands. There's a huge arena out front that's just completely overgrown with weeds. You can see the stables. It looks, I mean, nobody's at a rodeo here in fucking decades, but it's very clearly an old rodeo in the middle of Colorado mountain country. But he's like, this is where we meet our pickup. And as you get closer to it, like I said, you can see the grandstands. There's a stables offside. You can even see like the bullpen where they would have kept the old bulls. But Peter says, we have to make a mark to signal our arrival. And then our pickup comes the next day. Are we still in for
Where
this?
do we make the mark?
He's like, I will handle the mark.
Yeah, what's that mark going to be? Like, what do you have to do to do that?
He
Peter.
says, there's a horseshoe near one of the sections of the stands. It's turned up for good luck. We will turn it down to symbolize bad luck, which ironically is the signal that we are making to let people know we are ready to get the fuck out of this shithole country.
All right, I would like to. Are we close enough that using binoculars to sort of scan the rodeo area would make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to see if there's anything kind of.
Okay.
not right looking.
So you're scanning the
Scanning the perimeter of the rodeo to see if there's anybody hanging around.
okay, give me an observation roll with whatever if
+2.
+2 for that.
Yeah. Matt, if you fail this, I'll do it. Nope, he didn't fail it. Nailed it.
Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up with my notes here. What? One success.
Two
Okay.
successes.
Two successes. Oh, perfect. So looking around, you're kind of scanning around the grounds. You don't really see anybody. It is it's completely isolated. There's nobody in the grandstands, nobody standing in the arena. You do see sort of like it looks like a large fence post that's been set up in the center of the arena. And you can't really make out, I guess, how many successes you have? 2?
2.
So yeah, with 2 successes, you would notice that there is what looks like some sort of carcass that's hanging from like this makeshift, this large post that's in the middle of the center of the rodeo grounds.
All right, so I would let the rest of the group know, like, hey, there's a post in the middle of this thing, and there's some sort of carcass hanging on it. So, I don't know if anybody needs to roll to see this either, but I kind of pass around the binoculars and kind of point the direction.
Okay.
Like an animal carcass? I don't know if I want to see that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or is it
it's
person
you can tell.
carcass?
I mean, you're not able to distinguish what kind of carcass it is, but you are seeing some sort of carcass that's hanging from this post. Put a link to the image for the rodeo in the chat.
Oh, it's not working for me.
Yeah, me either.
No? Weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, forget it. So much for that. But anyway, yeah. So
You said there was stable too. So like when Silas was looking around,
Mhm.
didn't see anything in the stables, like no light.
Well,
or...
I mean, he wouldn't have been able to see directly into the stables. He can see into the grandstands, but I mean, he can't. The only thing he would have seen is the broad side of the stables and a window, but he didn't really see any movement. No, he didn't notice anything milling about in the stables. Same for the bullpen.
Yeah, so I would just say, like, that carcass in the middle is what caught my attention. I didn't notice anything too out of the ordinary in the surrounding area, so I would say we should proceed with caution, but we can move forward if that's what you guys are wanting to do.
If I may put my magical 2 cents in, that would be what we in the business call a distraction. And they want us to look there, and then they're gonna screw with us while we're focused on that. So I would pay no attention to the carcass in the center of stadium. I've been doing this for many years and quite profound in my arts.
Marcus would agree that does seem like a bait or a trap. And getting up to the highest level of the arena would give us an advantage to be able to see more. Is there a way to not go straight through the arena, but maybe go around the side to get up to the top of the grandstands?
So you want to try and make your way around the arena to like the top of the grandstands? You want to climb on top of the structure.
Yeah, without like walking straight through to be in the dead center of something where there'd be stuff above us. Is there a way to go around that, like bypass going straight through and still be able to get to the top of the the grandstands just to get a better lay of the land.
Sure. I mean, if you wanna swing out wide and try and make your way around to the backside of the grandstands and climb up, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and by
Yeah.
doing so, would we have to pass the stables to be able to also see if there's any kind of signs of life in those stables?
Okay. So based on where you're standing, the grandstands are directly in front of you. They're kind of like they're direct immediately on the other side of the arena, but the bullpen and the stables are off to your right. And so if what you wanted to do was swing around wide to the right and go past the stables and the bullpen, you can absolutely do that.
Marcus would say to everybody, I agree with Mind Freak. Uh, don't want to go directly through. If there's anything here, there's obviously something tied up at this post in the middle. So somebody at some point was trying to let anyone else know this is a sign of if you come here, this is what will happen to you. I think we should, make our way around, kind of check um, the stables on the way around, and then try to get to the highest point to see if we can see anything better from above ground level.
I think that's a
If y'all agree.
great idea, Marcus.
All right, let's do it. Stay frosty. Keep your eyes open.
Are you guys going to try and do this stealthy, sneaking, or what's the story?
Yeah, I'd like to vanish into the shadows.
Yeah, definitely want to do a sneaky sneak. Don't be suspicious.
Okay. So go ahead and give me stealth rolls.
Seven, 9, 8. Sorry, guys. Ooh.
That was
2. Okay. Then Bunk's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and he's got a stress too. He's got a point of stress. Nope. Okay. So Bunk still is his all of his equipment is waterlogged, and he's old and cold and wet, and he is just not very stealthy. He's clumsy and maybe drawing a little bit of attention to himself.
I failed as well. I did not roll.
Oh, you
any
did?
success.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So the two of you in tandem are, well, I mean, you're also pretty beat up, so maybe we'll just chalk this up to you being pretty badly bruised and nursing some injuries. Nonetheless, the two of you are
Don't
a little.
Dorian danger.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
Oh shit! How did I miss all of that? Okay, yeah. As a group, collectively, you're not hiding from anything. If the three of you failed that roll, you're sticking out like sore thumbs.
No, I got two.
Our shoes are squeaking because they're all.
Yeah, you're fine. Like, you'll be hidden.
Oh,
The problem is you're traveling with 3 people that are drawing attention to the group.
Bunk is like 80% stew and whiskey at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
So so as you guys make your way, did you guys see the image for the rodeo? It's in the chat. It finally worked. So as you guys make your way through there, the first thing you come across is the bullpen. What do you guys want to do?
Peek inside.
Peek inside. Okay. You
Maybe our stealthiest peeker needs to go peek inside.
Yeah, I can go check. My stealth is with my camo and my cold conditions an 8. So, ain't. I'd like to. Marcus would like to like hunker down and kind of like make his way.
There's like a window on the side that you guys are coming up to. Did you want to peer through the window, or do you want to go around to the front? Because the way you guys are coming around, all of the entrances to the stables and the bullpen, they're all facing towards the arena. And since you guys are coming out wide, you guys are coming along like the back sides of those buildings. Now there's a window that you could peek in, but if you want like a really full view of the entire area, you would have to go around towards the front and look in through the front entrance of the bullpen. It's up to you. You can take either way, but that's sort of the lay of the land.
My cat burglar brain is thinking check the window first.
Okay.
That gives us, a view of anything. If it doesn't, then maybe we try. But I would like to check the window first.
Okay. Give me an observation roll.
Observation. Now, this wouldn't add my bonus for the binoculars that I have.
If you're looking through a window, you're not looking 400 yards away.
Maybe
if you put binoculars on, I'm going to ask you to take a penalty on this roll.
Okay, so observation -1 for my cold condition is 3. Come on.
Shit,
Yeah.
still got it. Okay. I mean, the window is filthy, right? Like, nobody's used these stables. They've been completely neglected for decades. But despite that, you look in and you are pretty certain there is nothing in there. Or at least no people. There's no immediate hostile threats in terms of like some guy hiding in there with a gun waiting to ambush you. The bullpen is empty.
I say to the group, like, I can't see anything, but I also trusted those fuckers that, stabbed me and fucked us up last time. So I'll go with the group. If y'all think we should keep making our way around, I think is what we're trying to do, and like bypass the bullpen. I don't think there's any threat, but there doesn't appear to be anything that would behoove us to go in there.
How close are we to this horseshoe that you need to flip?
Oh, I forgot about that.
So, the grandstands are on the opposite side of the arena. So, maybe 100, 150 yards away.
And Silas looked to see from where we're at to see if the horseshoe is actually still in the upright position. It's not already turned before we make our way across.
That's an excellent question, actually. I hadn't even considered this. Give me an observation roll. You can use your binoculars this time.
I said Silas. I said Silas because I think he's better at observation than I am.
Sure,
But
I'll
if
do
you
it.
want, fuck yeah.
1.
Okay. So with one success, Peter points out, because, he just said in the grandstands, but Peter says, check section 3. That's where we're supposed to go. Specifically section 3. And you look over there, and you can see that there's stairways. If you're looking at the image, there's, the grandstands go, laterally left to right, and there's stairs, there's ramps on each side. And on the banisters, there's a horseshoe on each side. And the horseshoe on section 3 on that banister is currently turned up.
Yeah, it's there. It's turned up.
All right. Like I said, guys, the bullpen, from what I could see through this dusty window, don't think there's a threat. Don't know if there's anything in there, that would help us other than a little bit of shelter from everything around us. But don't want to keep making our way towards the grandstands on the outside here.
Well,
Yeah,
do you want to check inside the stable here and see if there's anything in there? I mean, at least if this is an ambush, if this area is clear, we could fall back and have, some cover from enemy fire. I don't know. I don't like this big open space. I feel like we're asking for it. Or maybe we could set up something of our own where we had people in advantageous positions to watch over the rest of us, or whoever it is that's going to take care of it. Peter said he could take care of the horseshoe, so kind of positioning ourselves at different higher spots and then cover Peter while he goes to turn this horseshoe.
I like
Just
it.
want me
Is
to-
it Bunk? Bunk's got the sniper, or does
Bunk's got a sniper rifle.
Both
Yeah,
Bunk
both
and
of
I
you
have
do
a
that,
sniper rifle.
I can go in the bullpen and check the inside since I'm obviously the most quiet one here. I'm the one.
Peter says,
that is
"You've been
sneaky.
nothing but running your mouth the whole time. I don't know why you think you're the quietest."
Well, just because there's ears to talk to, if I go inside and there's no one there, then I won't need to talk to anybody.
I like this plan.
All right, so yeah, I'd like to. I turn back to everyone. I'm like, so just like watch my back, but keep it down. I don't want you to blow my cover.
I'm gonna follow loosely behind Dorian with the bow and arrow drawn. I don't want to make a lot of noise if there is something in there.
Okay. So, you're just like providing cover with the bow.
I'm covering his back as
Okay,
he goes
gotcha.
in.
Okay. So
I'll stick with Peter.
okay.
As we're moving towards. But at some point, I would also like to get some cover and have Peter be the one, and also like Bunk, uh, not here, but his sniper rifle. I think he should also get some kind of flank position to have.
For to cover Peter when he heads over to the grandstands. Okay.
Yes, I want to go with Peter as far as I can before it's just open.
Mhm.
And Peter's been a dick to me, so I'm fine with him going by himself.
Yeah, I mean, you guys could stay behind the stables the entire way and then stay out of the open space of the arena pretty much the entire way. I would say the distance from the backside of the stables, I'm sorry, the broadside of the stable to the actual staircase where Peter needs to turn that horseshoe over upside down is like 30 yards or so. So you would be exposed, for maybe like 30 yards, but it would be significantly less exposed than if you were to cross the open arena. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with or Marcus would like to do that to kind of like
All right.
have his back.
So we'll start with the bullpen. Dorian is going in to explore. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. Give me an observation roll. Sweet. Roll me 2d6.
Gladly.
2 and a 2. So searching around, I mean, it's musty in here. It stinks of like moldy hay, and it's wet, so it's kind of like got that wet hay smell hanging in the air. But looking around, you find a tack hammer that you would assume was being used as part of like a like a tack kit. And you also find an old like crinkled, it's sort of like an old worn out saddle that's kind of like cracked because the leather's been neglected for years and years.
Saddle and attack hammer.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the saddle does have like saddlebags on it, and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Can I peek inside those saddlebags?
Yeah, you absolutely can. In the saddlebags, you find a box of matches. So you can go ahead and throw that in your resources at D6 for matches. And you also find a pair of leather work gloves.
What do the work gloves have any advantages?
I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Okay, I'll just stick those
We'll,
in the backpack.
for right now, we'll figure that out if it comes. If there's a way that you can narratively explain to me how they would provide you an advantage in a certain situation, I'll run with it.
Oh,
But for right now, you have
great.
a pair of leather
master
work
of-
gloves.
Improvisation.
Disadvantage when shuffling your cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you find. Outside of that, this it's like Marcus said, this is an empty room. It hasn't been used in years. And outside of the saddle that you found, pretty unremarkable.
Oh,
It is dry
Dorian,
in
like-
here as opposed to being wet outside because it's raining, but I mean there's not much going on in this room.
Dorian does a look around and turns back around to Silas and in the middle of the bullpen and just takes a big bow and it's like, that, sir, is how you clear a room. And then he's like, it's
good
also
job.
dry in here if you want to get out of the rain for a little bit.
Yeah, good point, Dorian. Thanks.
Glad I could help. Anytime you need something to go right, I'm your man.
Things have gone horribly fucking sideways since I met you.
So anyway,
That's probably prior to meeting me, but
Same day.
we'll
Now it looked a lot like you fucking blew up at our room that we were in.
so we'll head over to the action on the other side with Peter and Marcus and Bunk. So you guys make your way towards the stables. You kind of leave Silas and Dorian and start heading past the stables because Peter is headed towards the grandstands where he's going to make this signal to signal you guys to pick up. So as you approach the stables, what would you like to do?
I've got my hunting rifle. Definitely each stable as we're passing it before we just like walk past it, like duck in, kind of, gangster with a
So there's
rifle.
there's like 14. This is a big stable. There's like 14 individual box stalls where they would like keep horses. There's a lot of them. Do you want to check each one individually?
The rogue in me would definitely like to check all of these, but
Give me an observation roll first.
observation roll.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's still not -1 for the cold condition.
Yep, until you guys warm up.
Come on, baby.
Damn.
Oh,
Nice. So as much as there are individual box stalls, they're not super closed off. So you can kind of see all the way through this building. And just like the bullpen, it doesn't appear that there's anything hiding in here. There's no animals in
no
here.
signs of life.
No signs of life.
Like,
The whole place just looks
Okay.
like it's completely abandoned. I mean, there's, the errant rat every once in a while, but like outside of that, there's no horses hanging out in here. There's no signs that anybody is using this as a hideout. It's pretty empty.
okay, I'd say to Peter and Bunk, like, after Peter gets this horseshoe turned, maybe we make our way back. It doesn't look like there's anybody here, but see if there's any kind of stuff left behind, supplies, essentials that we could use, but make our way towards the horseshoe.
Okay. So Bunk sort of suggests, I got to figure out what my Bunk voice is for tonight. He's going to be an old-timey prospector, I think. Well, I'll check out the stalls if you guys want to do the horseshoe. That's my Bunk.
perfect.
Bunk, see if there's anything recently dead in there you can make a delicious stew out of.
I make the best stews. I cannot wait for Matt to watch this on the replay
Yes.
and have him see
Like
my impression of his character.
it's like watching his twin. No, not really.
Anyway, so Bunk has suggested that he will check out the stables, the individual stalls, while Marcus sort of keeps an eye on Peter as he makes his way to the grandstands. I'm gonna make a roll for Peter real quick. That's a 6. Okay, cool.
Good job, Peter.
So, are you going to stay in your position? Because basically, at this point, you have a clear line of sight of where Peter's going to pop out on the far side of this stable, and there's like a very small gap that he's got to clear before he gets to that staircase. Are you just kind of like going to keep an eagle eye on that section and just kind of wait for him to cross and do the thing and come back?
If you're talking to Marcus,
Correct. Yeah, I'm talking to Marcus.
yeah, I'm gonna post up. So I've got a 180 degree or whatever I've got from here, 240, whatever.
Yeah.
If anything pops up while he's making this, jaunt across to flip the horseshoe, but yeah, I don't want to expose myself. Like he's got all these plans. He knows what he's doing. I'm just giving him cover.
Okay. Perfect.
Because he's just going to turn that and coming right back, right?
Yeah.
Is the plan?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, the only reason you guys are here is to signal your pickup. Like this is a smuggling operation that has that Peter is the only one that really knows the full the context of it, because the instruction letter that you had was all written in Russian, and Peter's the only one that knows about it. But yeah, Peter is like, I need to. He's like, I go make the signal. So
Right.
you're just gonna keep an overwatch on that little section where he's got to pop out. So
Let's say I've got your back. Go do your thing. Come back. If anything happens, I'll try not to shoot you as well.
okay,
Can I see them from where I'm at the?
actually, yeah, yeah, both of you could. I mean, you would have a different angle in terms of your line of sight, but you both have a clear line of sight. And
Right, then I would shoulder the bow and pull the sniper rifle and just kind of track the movements.
okay, so a couple minutes go by, and eventually, what you see Peter sort of pop out from the far side of this stable, and he kind of looks, checks to make sure the coast is clear, and you see him not sprint, but just kind of like run, but like trying to be sneaky while he runs. He makes it to the staircase, no issues, turns the horseshoe upside down. He looks back at both of you because he knows where both of you are, and he kind of gives you one of these. As soon as he gives you a thumbs up, I want to see who would notice this. Let's have, everybody. Actually, just Marcus and Silas. Because I'm assuming Dorian is a little preoccupied with the bullpen, and Bunk is bunking. Bunk is doing bunk stuff.
What are we doing?
I just need you to give me an observation roll. Sorry.
Observation. Sans binoculars. Right.
Sans binocular. Yeah, because this is more of an auditory perception roll.
Come on, baby. Come on.
God damn.
I'm not gonna
You
get
are
it.
fucking
You got
rolling
it.
hot, man. So both of you hear the sound of something snap, and then you hear the sound of an animal yelp, and then you also hear the sound of a cowbell. Clang, 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 clang. Clang, 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 clang.
Is there a noticeable direction that I could?
Yeah, it sounds like it's coming from right in the middle of the arena.
So I would train my sniper rifle scope there and see what the hell is happening.
Give me another observation roll. Nice, 2 success. Okay, so since you're a little bit closer and you got a different line of sight, let's say some of the weeds aren't as tall in this vantage point. You can clearly see that right at that post that you had seen where the carcass was, there is now a coyote that is trapped in one of those traps, and attached to a line that connects the trap to the post is a cowbell. And every time this coyote is trying to get his leg out of this trap, it just rings this cowbell. Bing, bing, bang, 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 bang. That's how cowbells sound, in case you guys didn't know.
I say,
Yeah.
you got a fever. There's only one cure. More cowbell.
A lot of Will Ferrell characters coming in tonight. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So I can see this coyote.
Yeah.
Am I close enough that I could pull off a shot with a bow and arrow, like a silent shot, to try and kill this thing and make it stop moving?
100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You're within range.
Do that.
Oh my.
No ones. I'm gonna.
You're gonna push
that
this?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be clear though, on a pushed roll, if you roll any ones on your gear dice, that does do damage to your bow.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then a stress die as well.
Correct. Two.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Is that 2 success? Okay, cool. Yeah, and with the multiple successes, you take aim and let loose, and this arrow goes right through the chest of this wolf, and it immediately coyote, and it immediately falls over. Like you hit all of the vital organs. So it is immediately dead. That being said, there was a full 10 to 15 seconds where that cowbell was just ringing off. What do you guys want to do?
So I turned back to look at Dorian and said, I don't like all the noise that thing made. We gotta get scarce pretty soon here. I imagine something is coming to collect that trap.
Yeah, let's vanish.
Okay. Are you guys leaving, or are you guys just hiding?
It's still raining outside, right?
It is still raining outside. It's not like the torrential downpour that it was, but it is still raining. Let's say it's drizzling.
And Peter's got he doesn't want to leave because this is the pickup spot, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, Peter is aware that a trap that is specifically designed to alert someone has just gone off. So as much as this is your pickup point, he did tell you that it was going to take a full day between the signal and somebody showing up. So you guys could easily leave and get to a place where you would be. You can do whatever you want. All I'm saying is that a trap that with an alert system has been set.
Yeah, I would say to Dorian, let's go meet up with the others, and we should get out of here.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, and Peter he starts running back around that the stable to kind of regroup with you guys. He starts running over. So you guys' plan is to not to hide, but to leave.
I think we should leave. We should find some place not terribly far away and lay low, and then come back when we, maybe watch it for a while and see if it's clear. But I think we should avoid whatever is coming to collect whatever's in that trap. And I know that I silenced the coyote, but there's also now an arrow in it that they will understand that something has shot their animal in a trap.
Okay.
Maybe we should go collect the coyote, so then they can think that maybe something some bear or something took the coyote and set off the trap.
Yeah, why don't you go do that, Dorian? Make sure you get my arrow too.
Yeah, I was gonna say get the arrow and slice it up, but no.
Okay,
So
go ahead. I mean, let me know what you want to do before we move forward.
I think it's a
So-
great idea, Mr. Danger.
All right. Dorian says, "Let's get dangerous," and like he sprints over there because
Okay,
he's trying to. He just really wants to impress you guys so he can be accepted in the cool group.
it's perfect. I love it. So
He just cuts straight to the middle of the.
So he's just making a beeline straight across
Yeah.
the open arena area to the coyote. Okay.
Did Dorian pick
would
up one of those
Marcus-
knives after the last fight?
Yeah, I got my knives
Yeah,
back.
you got your knives back.
would Marcus see him like doing this?
I would assume that all of you would see this.
Yeah, we're standing.
And already like Peter's making his way back to Marcus.
At this point, Peter's already back to you. He as soon
Okay.
as that trap went off and he realized what the fuck was going on, he started booking it back towards you guys to regroup. So now we have Dorian, who's just sort of like dashing out across the rodeo arena grounds to this coyote, and I'm imagining that's like in slow motion and like Chariots of Fire theme is just like playing in the background, and you get to this coyote in this trap. What did you want to do?
Try and get it out of the like trap and just take the whole thing. That
Okay.
the coyote and the arrow.
Okay. So give me I'll just say that you can pull the arrow out. No problem there. I'm going to need
Makes it disappear.
I'm going to need you to give me a mobility roll for the trap to try and remove the coyote from the trap. Nice. Okay. So yeah, I mean, without much effort, or not much effort, but like you very dexterously, you find the pressure plate and push it down. The jaws open up, coyote's leg gets free, and you now have a coyote. What do you want to do with this coyote?
Slinging it over my shoulders, and I'm running back to the crew.
I need you to give me another mobility roll.
I want to say like I'm like, oh, this will maybe Bunk can make me a hat after, like, so I can be like everybody else.
I need you to give me another mobility roll, but this time it's gonna be with a -2 modifier because you're carrying a coyote over your shoulders, and it's muddy and wet outside.
Must be a big coyote because they don't.
Oh
roll
my
much.
god, you guys are making clutch rolls.
Started off
Wow.
slow, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, started off slow.
So this is, I mean, Dorian looks great doing this. Like, it's impressive. Like, he,
Did he freak our minds?
it does freak all of your minds. I need all of you to take a point of stress for how freaked your minds are
No.
as he's running. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so he's got this, he's got the coyote on his shoulders, and he is very agilely, very nimbly making his way back to the group. What do you guys want to do next?
So a trap like this has got to, like, if it's, there's got to be someone close enough. Like, if it's a bell, that's going to be sound. Someone's close enough to hear it. If it was just a spring trap, they'd be checking it every few days. They'd come across it and be like, oh, we caught something. But if it's a bell, that means there's somebody close enough. There's got to be someone that's close enough to hear that, correct?
Yeah, I would think so. So, did we pass on our approach to this rodeo grounds? Did we pass any structures that we could hide behind, or did we see any in the distance that would be?
Sure. So, like, on your way across this meadow, nothing was close, right? Like nothing was really nearby. But the town of Fraser was off to your east, and the town of Tabernash is further north from this rodeo. And you know, it's a mountain town. People own small cabins and various ranches or in the area. So, sure, yes, I'll say yes. Let's say you saw an old, like, bombed out ranch house, a barn. We'll say you saw a barn.
As we approached.
Yeah, it was off in the distance. You know, it wasn't close enough to be convenient to go travel to first. But if that is a direction that you wanted to head, let's say that it would be west from the rodeo.
Okay.
Like pretty much due west from the rodeo.
So I would just say, like, hey, I think there's maybe a barn or some structure off to the west. I think we should check that out. But be cautious, because any trap like that, they have to be fairly close to here, cowbell. It's not like they can be miles and miles away and come get the trap. So we may have company sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are heading out then?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys going to try and do this stealthy, or are you just trucking?
Definitely, I would think stealthy. Like again, like
Okay.
Silas just said,
We'll
that's
give it a
going to
shot.
set off alarms that people can hear. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Everybody, give me stealth rolls.
Man, my rolls are terrible. Oh, wait, I need to roll the stress die. Nope. I am not stealthy.
Okay. So you guys, let's see, 1, 2.
What?
Yeah. So. I would say, like, as a group, considering you're not, there's no obvious threat at this point. Like, you guys are, unless somebody was specifically looking for you, you guys are being quiet enough that you would go undetected by somebody that didn't know you were there, right? Like, if you were being actively looked for, I would say that you guys weren't doing a great job. But because there's no reason for anybody to believe that you're there to begin with, you guys are okay. That being said, as you guys start heading out, off towards so you guys are heading west, right? So as you guys start heading out west, you get past the grandstands, you get outside of the rodeo. You guys are kind of, I would say at this point, you're about maybe 50 yards out from the rodeo at this point, but you do see 3 people. It's not to say these are not Vanguard troops, like the people that you saw on the trail, but you do see 3 individuals making their way towards the center of the rodeo. Do you want to stop and watch, or you just want to keep going? Just like, fuck it, just keep moving?
I would like to stop and watch, but I'm just with the rest of the guys.
Okay.
they don't see us, right? Like we're pretty well hidden.
Yeah, they're not looking for you, so you're hidden enough that you haven't drawn attention to yourself. So unless somebody does something specifically to draw attention to yourself,
Bunk.
they wouldn't have a reason to, who has the highest observation score?
Mine would be a 6 without any gear bonus. But
4
I
for
have
me.
Okay.
And mine would just be a 5.
So you don't even need to roll for this. Silas, you are the first one to realize this. Bunk is not with you.
Oh, shit.
We didn't collect Bunk.
Bunk is not with you.
That old man.
All right. Hey, everybody. Is there anything missing in this? Anybody? Dorian, did you make a kind old gentleman disappear?
Did you?
Damn it. We forgot him.
All right. I'd like to go back for Bunk.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to do that, but I'm going.
Okay.
He's. Yeah.
I'm assuming that you guys want to stealthily make your way back to the rodeo.
Yes, because it has been so great so far for
Okay.
my
I
stealth.
Now,
can't-
again, these
I can't skin this
this
coyote by myself.
this group doesn't see you yet. They have no reason to look for you. They are still walking to the coyote, or what they assume is the trap that's gone off. So they haven't made it there yet. So you guys sort of have this advantage that they don't know that you're there, but you do know that they are there.
So are they using? Is it dark? Is it nighttime? Is it daytime?
So it was roughly 5 o'clock when you guys headed out, and it
5
took you about
a.m.?
it took you about an hour and a half to get to the rodeo from where you were. So we'll say it's like it was 6:30 when you guys got there. You guys have been at the rodeo for about a half an hour. I would say it's about 7 a.m.
So if it's this time of year, like there's enough light that they don't need flashlights, or
No.
the people that are converging on this area don't need a source of light.
No. It's
So
early morning, but like the sun has crested over the mountain ridge. It's morning.
Did Marcus use his binoculars to see if there's any other people converging on this area?
No, I mean it's just the three of them that you saw. I mean these three people are specifically headed to the trap that
Oh,
set the alarm up.
so guys, I know Bunk. He would be doing his best to stay out of sight right now. So I don't think we need to like send in the cavalry and go straight to him. I think we can take a slow, cautious approach, watch what they do, and put ourselves in a position to react quickly and with lethal force if necessary as soon as it looks like they spot Bunk or have some sign of trouble from him.
So you know the old man better than I do, because I just teamed up with you guys recently. But this early in the morning, as much whiskey and stew he's had, you don't think that he's going to be somewhat belligerent and loud like he's been the last 2 hours? You think
Hey.
he's
How old does he look? Do you know many people that are that old? He is the oldest person I know.
Didn't we do this last time? He's only like 42. Like it's
He's aged horribly. I got Bunk's picture up
You
next.
guys have seen the picture. The guy is ancient.
Yeah. Nobody knows how old Bunk actually is. He has never explained that. You guys
So
all have your
anyway,
own theories.
This guy is a survivor. I trust that he is doing his best to stay out of sight. So I say we cautiously approach, make sure that we keep our eye on them, and we act quickly if things go south.
Marcus agrees.
That sounds like a great plan.
Okay. We'll just keep the same rolls. You guys start making your way back cautiously, taking your time. And you could keep your eyes on the group, and as they finally get there and discover that there's nothing in the trap, the three of them seem at first a little confused. You can't hear what they're saying. They're obviously having a conversation. But just based on body language, you can tell that like things are escalating. And now you can kind of hear an argument. Again, you can't make out specifically what they're saying, but voices are starting to raise. And just the tone of their voice implies to you that it's hostile. This is a hostile argument. And then eventually, one of them pushes the other one. And the guy who gets pushed falls back a little bit, but then immediately whips out a pistol and shoots the guy that pushed him, and he goes down. The third person that was with them, he pulls a pistol out on the first guy. The two of them are in a standoff, and they're arguing with each other. They are yelling at each other. You can't really hear what they're saying. You can just hear sort of like the barking sounds of two angry people yelling at each other. But they're kind of preoccupied with each other. Anyway.
And, keep quiet, like, stay low. Like, let's get a little bit closer and make sure that we're in position if Bunk needs our help.
Okay. So yeah, you guys continue to make your way towards. I'm assuming where are you guys headed?
It'd be the stables, like Bunk's last known location. Me and Peter would know that, right?
Yeah, you and Peter would. I mean, basically all of you guys would know that you were.
I think taking the same route that we went in, so where we were behind
Okay.
the building would be the good route to go.
Okay. So you guys continue to walk around the back side of this stable, and you're still keeping an eye on these now two men who have been in a pretty heated argument with each other. One of them starts searching the grounds, like the immediate ground, and he looks, and eventually you see him start following something. You don't know what it is. Well, maybe you do. But he starts following something. He starts making his way towards the bullpen. And he turns to his buddy and he's like, and he yells. So now you can hear him. Tracks lead this way.
Forgot to hide my tracks.
It's muddy out.
But Bunk wasn't in the...
Bunk wasn't in the bullpen.
Okay.
Bunk was in the stable.
Okay, so we can see them heading to where Silas and Dorian were at.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at as far as like if they're heading this way
Okay,
and the
just-
bullpen's here? Are we over here?
Just to give you a lay of the land. If you are looking down, a top-down view, the rodeo arena is a big circle in the middle. The grandstands span from like 9 o'clock to like 11 o'clock. Right? There's this huge swath of just grandstands from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. The stables are at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. And the bullpen is at 3 o'clock.
And we're behind the stables.
You guys are
or
behind the stables right now.
roughly?
The two men that are coming to check this trap are walking towards the bullpen. And you guys are behind
What's
the
in
stable.
between? What's in between the stables and the grandstands?
Nothing.
What's in between 2 and 11?
Nothing. Open
So
space.
they're heading that way.
I'm sorry. So
We
how
could
close is the trap where the dead body is?
I'm sorry. Oh, the dead body, the guy that got gunned down, he's like, we'll say that the stake where the trap is like literally right in the center of the arena.
Oh, damn.
So it's like, I don't know how big a rodeo arena is, but enough that
was
you
gonna
were
try,
able to run in,
I was gonna try and
dramatic
mind freak
fashion. No.
and put the dead body at the end of our new tracks. And so when they are following our tracks, they come back and find the dead body. They're like mind freaked.
You are more than what I love this so much that I want you to try it.
Okay. I tell it to the guys, this is what I'm gonna do. Hold my coyote. So can I like sneak out there and just while they're
I
You
try and
can-
channel my inner Bunk, and I'm like, "Are you fucking soft, boy? Like, what is wrong with you?"
it'd be such a good magic trick
Like,
though.
they shot him. They know that he didn't come from over here. Did anyone notice if there was more activity from the direction that these three came from? Like, did we see anybody, or is it just these three the whole time?
Just these three. Just these three.
But you said we're right behind the stables anyways, right? And Bunk's inside the stables? Or that's
That's the last
location.
Yeah, I mean, Bunk said he was going to go check out the stables while Marcus was keeping cover for Peter.
I think we've got an opportunity. There's only two of them, and they're heading toward the bullpen. We'd be able to come around the side of the stables, and after they go into the bullpen, we'd have the three of us. If we don't find Bunk, if we do find Bunk, four of us to trap them in these bullpens, or five, Peter, sorry. So I think we could actually flank them, catch them by surprise, and try to get some answers out of them, like how many of them there are, what's going on, just Marcus's 2 cents.
So they were willing to gun down their own guy over what looked like a silly argument. I don't know how much information I need from these people. I just need to not be killed by them.
Yeah, Marcus is pretty hurt. Or I'm sorry, Silas is pretty hurt.
Yeah.
He got
I
a
would
Marcus
like
ain't
to-
doing great.
he
Either.
got a face full of tree shrapnel when that lightning strike hit.
I would like to avoid these guys if possible, or if you feel like outright just like onslaught of violence before they know we're here, like whatever. But I want to get Bunk and get away from here, and then wait for our pickup. For all we know, these guys are our pickup. Like, I don't know.
So Peter speaks up and he's like, "There are only two of them. We could do it quiet."
Plus, I don't know. They're just going to keep following our tracks. So there's not much hiding unless we find a
If they're
way to
willing
cover
to
our
kill
tracks.
if they're willing to kill their own, they're definitely willing to kill us.
All right, well, so silent if we can.
Okay.
How much time do we have to look for Bunk in the stables while they're making their way towards the bullpen before like it would ruin our time to flank them?
I would say that the amount of time it's going to take them to walk all the way to the bullpen is going to be like a full 30-ish to 40-ish seconds. Let's call it a minute.
And we're right behind the stables.
God, a minute is a long time to just walk. I'm sorry. You guys are right behind the stables. But yeah, let's say we're talking seconds. You know, this is if you guys are going into the stables to look for Bunk, you're going to have to make that decision. If you guys are going into to try and take these guys out, you're going to have to make that decision. Because the opportunity to take them by surprise while they're searching the bullpen is going to be brief before they decide that they need to.
And Bunk's the loose cannon. Like he could have stumbled off chasing a squirrel to make a stew out of. I think this would be a great opportunity for us, the four of us, sans Bunk, to catch these guys from behind. They're not going to be looking where we're coming from. We've already got our guns drawn. They drop them. tell us everything you know. Are there more of y'all? Um, that that's what Marcus would think to do, and say to them, uh, with the time that we have.
I I don't even want to give them a chance to turn and fire on me. Like you you tell me which side you want, I will put an arrow in the back of the other one. Like, let's go.
Dorian, what are you gonna do? Like you've got knives. Are they throwing knives, or are you just you're
They're
with us?
throwing
You're on.
they're throwing and stabbing knives, so I can make them disappear.
Marcus is
I love that.
Marcus wants to get information, but if Silas thinks take the threat out, shoot first, ask questions later.
We can leave one. Like, if you really need that, like, fine, but I I am not doing so hot right now. I would
Okay.
love to put this behind me, and if there's some sort of extraction that's going to happen tomorrow, I want to be alive for that.
Okay, so Marcus's suggestion would be the one that killed the first guy, shot him immediately during the fight. Let's take him out first, and maybe we can extract some information from the guy that had to react and not wasn't proactive.
Okay. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me how do you want to do this?
I think
Can we sneak in front of
Marcus
the
has got a hunting
stables
rifle.
so we can see if Bunk is still in there?
I'm
Like, are
sorry.
we at a position where we could, instead of going behind the stables, go in front of the stables where the open ends are, to kind of like either signal or see if
Yeah,
Bunk is there visually?
and I would say they still have no reason. Well, maybe they do have a reason to think you're there. That being said, I would say that considering you guys have been on the back side of this building the whole time, if you guys just want to sweep in real quick into the stable, I would say you could do that without being noticed, without having to roll for it. Because they are focused forward. They're not scanning the area like this. They're like, I'm following these tracks. He's pretty preoccupied with the tracks. So if you guys wanted to quickly slip into the stable, you could do that.
I could go for Bunk, and you guys could cut off the other. Yeah, go around and
I'm gonna
make
need
sure
to
that they don't get the jump on me and Bunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that first. We'll Silas, you're gonna slip into. You're gonna sort of like break off from Peter, Marcus, and Dorian, and just pop into the stables. Give me an observation roll. Actually, you know what? You don't see Bunk immediately. You see no sign of Bunk. But give me an observation roll anyway. Okay. Ooh. What was that
1-6.
stress roll? Okay, 1-6.
At 3.
I had a moment where I thought it was. Anyway, so you, like I said, you don't immediately see Bunk, but as you're kind of like making your way, and you're just kind of giving, you know how if you're in the grocery store and you're just like looking down both aisles for the person that you came to the grocery store with, that's kind of how you're doing this. You don't see Bunk, but as you get towards sort of like the last of these stalls, in the middle of the aisle, you know, the stable, the actual individual pens are on either side. In the middle of the aisle, you find Bunk's multi-tool laying on the ground.
So I picked that up.
Okay.
And I quickly look around to see if there's any sign of a struggle, or if there's a sign of a direction that somebody would have went.
Not immediately, no.
I just you know, like Christian Bale's Batman, just like whisper yell.
Gotcha. You don't hear anything back.
All right, so I guess I would do my best to get back with the rest of the group.
Okay. All right, and yeah, I would say, again, you can pop out and hide behind the stable again. If you're going to regroup with the others, what is the plan for this plan of action? How do you want to make this happen?
So Marcus has got his hunting rifle. Dorian doesn't have any kind of gun or firing weapon, right?
That is correct. Got throwing knives
So-
and a bat, some matches, some gloves.
So Marcus would definitely be, I guess, out front with the rifle readied. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. We're coming around the side of the stables, heading towards the bullpen to our left, and Silas is going to be coming through the stable, joining us to our left.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate way to describe it.
And Silas, you've got sniper rifle.
If I want to be loud, I got a sniper rifle. If I want to be quiet, I got a bow.
Okay. I think Marcus definitely would be in front, being a bow leader of the Trail Angels, knowing these guys are murderous within themselves.
Yeah.
Definitely wants to. I know his character doesn't want to kill people, but the guy that shot the first guy.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say without.
I'm not
warning.
pinning that on you. You can choose who Marcus is.
Without warning, if I've got an open shot, their backs are to me. I want Marcus wants to shoot the first guy that murdered the first one, upper left shoulder, like through the back, right through the heart.
So you want to make a called shot on the heart.
Yes.
You're firing your rifle, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I just want to make sure that I understand what your decision is. Okay, so if you want to make a called shot, same rules apply last time. You're going to need at least 3 successes. 1 success, you'll hit him, but you're just not going to get what you want. But if you want to dead center this guy right through the heart, 3 successes.
3
So
successes.
if he's gonna do that, I am like, I see him pulling his rifle out, like he's gonna fire. I don't care about stealth anymore. I am pulling my rifle.
Okay.
And if the other guy looks like he is drawing, I am taking a shot, and I don't care where I hit him.
Oh,
Perfect.
shit.
Great. All right.
So is this marksmanship?
This is, oh yeah, absolutely, it's marksmanship. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I know your guys really strong in marksmanship. So yeah, we'll have Marcus do his roll first. So give me that marksmanship roll. You need 3 successes to put one right through his heart.
Okay, so that's abilities 5, marksmanship is 3, and I've still got the cold condition, so -1, so that's a total of 7.
But you also have don't forget your gear bonus with your sniper rifle.
I don't have a sniper rifle. I have
Or your
a-
hunting rifle. Whatever. Just all I'm
shit,
saying
you're
is
right.
don't forget your gear bonus.
Yeah, so that's still a straight 8. Okay, so
8.
so that's a 7 plus 1 for the gear.
Plus 1
It
for the
would be
gear.
8. Yeah, 8 minus the 1 for the cold. +1 for the gear. Come on, baby.
Shit. Okay, so
Hitting balls.
you got 2. Now you can push it if you want to get that third one. You didn't roll any ones on your gear die. So when you push this, since you already have a success with your rifle, you wouldn't roll that one. So you have 2 successes, so you would roll just the 6 base die and your stress die to try and push this for another success. So it'd be
So
6
it
base,
would
1
be-
stress.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Come on. 7. One of y'all gonna hit.
Fuck yeah. Look at that.
Die.
The stress gave you the success. All right. So you do. You fire this shot off, and it goes right through this guy's heart, and he just immediately falls to the ground. The gunshot alerts, clearly, your gunshot alerts his buddy, who immediately starts looking in the direction that the gunshot came. He does see you, but are the rest of you out there with Marcus?
Yes.
I guess I'd be near the front of the stable where I exited, but I am
Okay.
pointing a rifle in his direction.
All right. So he sees his friend just fall flat face first into the mud, taking a shot to the heart. He looks up and he sees you, and his eyes get giant, and well, let's see what he does. He starts to run.
I am going to take a shot at him.
With the bow or the rifle?
Rifle. We've already made some noise. Don't care anymore.
Okay. All right. Let it rip.
Two, 3,
Jesus, 3?
4.
Fuck it. Same rolls. Goes right through. Well, do you want this to be a headshot or a heart shot?
I would go hard shot on this
Heart
one.
shot. Same idea. I mean, he's running from you, but the bullet goes, straight through his back, straight through his heart, and just like his buddy, he falls down face into the mud.
Right. So, I guess that takes care of that. But, guys, I didn't find Bunk in the stable. I did find his multi-tool. I don't know where he's at right now. So, I think we should... maybe someone should move those bodies out of the open and get them into either the stable or the bullpen. And we should continue looking for Bunk.
100% agree.
All right. Peter speaks up. He's like, I will grab one of the bodies. He kind of makes his way out. And as he picks up one of the guy, the second person, he realizes that he's, he looks around and he realizes it's muddy and that obviously he was following your footprints. And so the idea of just like dragging this body into the bullpen doesn't seem like maybe the best idea. So he picks the guy up and just walks back to the bullpen, pulls like a bale of hay away from the wall and stuffs this body between a bale of hay and the bullpen wall.
Very smart, Peter.
He's like,
I am very
Fulton
smart.
would
Thank you
be
for
proud.
noticing. I don't need fancy magic tricks to make myself look brilliant.
All right,
Some people have
so
flair, some people don't.
I would like to check the area around the stable for evidence that Bunk moved somewhere else.
Okay. Tell you what, before we get into that, let's take a quick break because I need to pee and get another drink. But so let's take 10 minutes, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
All right, so after a very detailed conversation about various processed chicken nuggets and gas station food, you guys are looking for Bunk. Last you saw him, he was in the stables at the rodeo. Silas was able to find his multi-tool, but no sign of Bunk.
Yeah, so I am looking for signs of movement, struggle, anything that can tell if there's. Also, knowing Bunk, I would be scanning trees and bushes and a sniper rifle scope and barrel sticking out of said trees and bushes.
Okay. Fair. Give me another observation roll. I would say this time, since this is much more deliberate and is not the sort of like the cursory sort of hurried look that you were trying to perform last time. Seems like this is a lot more deliberate. So why don't you give yourself a +2 base bonus?
Assuming plus the stress die.
Yeah. Yep. Stress would still be in play.
I got 1-6,
Just one.
but no panic at least.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you do notice like scuff marks leading from the place where you saw, excuse me, from the place where you found Bunk's multi-tool. You see sort of like disturbance in, the dirt. It looks like maybe something's been dragged, or there's, it just looks like something is, signs are pointing towards like stable, we'll say 4.
All right, so Silas would consider himself to be a very excellent hunter. So, like, he would have some tracking skills and hopefully be able to discern a direction and start, like, alert the group, like, hey, I think I see signs of something that moved off in this direction, and start, like, cautiously moving forward, checking the ground, looking around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you follow, sort of the tracks that I kind of indicated you had found, and it definitely leads to one of the individual pens, one of the individual stables, and then everything just abruptly stops. The tracks, the signs of the marks in the floor that you've kind of been following just suddenly stop.
So Peter and Marcus have firearms that I know of, so I would ask them to kind of flank me and, like, hey guys, cover me. Bunk is like a survivalist kind of guy. He may have planted these tracks. I'm just gonna call out for him. We've already made him enough of a disturbance. Like, if somebody heard us and is coming, they're coming no matter what. So, like, just watch for movement. Give it a pause because the movement might be Bunk, but cover me. And then I just say, Bunk, where are you? We took care of the guys out here in the rodeo grounds. Are you anywhere nearby?
You don't hear any response.
Son of a bitch.
I've got a coyote.
Sadly,
It's
that
redemption time on this skinning and making pelts.
that does not induce a response either.
So am I where the tracks end?
Mhm.
is there anything vertical that someone could climb up?
No, I mean, looking up, I mean, you know, you're in this stall that separates each of the individual stalls. So there's you know, a bit of a fence. But looking up, there's nothing up there but rafters and the roof.
Does it look like someone could have, like, I don't know, rolled away to try and not make foot scuffs and tracks?
He's got to be up there.
You in the rafters, you're saying?
No, I'm saying on the ground. Does it,
On the ground.
you know,
I mean,
Bunk's a survivalist. I imagine he knows ways of covering tracks, so I'm just like taking a real good hard look at stuff.
yeah, and I you don't need to roll this again. I'm just gonna assume the same roll. But you're just like scrutinizing this particular stall, I assume. So
Yeah, I've paused, and this is where I think the last sign of him is. So
Okay.
I'm really taking a hard look.
Perfect. So, as you really start to kind of like examine this stall, you realize that right up to where the point of where these tracks sort of like literally just stop. As you kind of get a little closer and examine the ground, you realize that there is almost like you find this little like line in the ground, and you kind of dig it out a little bit, and you follow it with your finger, and you realize that there is a large wooden square in the ground that's just covered with dirt.
I let people
Sorry, I
know
just took a
what
bite of
I
sandwich.
found. Hey, does it look like a trap door or something? Cellar door? Something?
It does look like a trapdoor.
So I would like to examine a little bit closer and see if I can figure out where the latch is. And
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to roll this. Yeah, so once you find this, you start clearing away a lot of the dirt. And it looks like somebody has gone to a great deal. Marcus just burnt his mouth on pizza rolls.
super predictable.
Somebody has gone to a great deal of trouble to pretty elaborately and pretty successfully hide this door in the floor. And so you do find the door, and it's not much to it. It's not like a real complicated, there's not a lock or a latching mechanism. It's literally just a door. And you're able to just pry it up with your hands if you want.
Seems like we got another magician on our hands, boys.
So, same deal. I would like for Marcus and Peter to sort of cover on both sides. Like, hey, I'm going to open this, but if there's a way that I can open it to where I'm not standing right at the opening of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if it's like a go around back and pull.
100%.
Like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. And yeah, you do. I mean, again, there's no reason to roll this. You find a way to wedge your hands in there because there's not a handle, right? But you are able to get your hands underneath the door and pull it open. And like you said, you're standing behind it. And when you open it up, you just look down and there is just a large pit that looks like a tunnel. There's actually, those work lights that are on strings? There is
yellow cages.
Yeah, with the big yellow cages on them. There's a set of these yellow work lights hung in this tunnel.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Matt.
Whisper yell again. Bunk, are you down there?
You don't hear anything. But you can tell that like the echo of your own voice indicates that it's larger than just like a little like hidey hole under the stable. And you get the impression that this, just based on the duration, the length of the echo, that this tunnel might go for a ways.
tell the group still haven't seen any real sign of Bunk since I picked up his multi-tool. This tunnel might go for a ways. Peter, do you know anything more about this location?
Peter shrugs his shoulders and he's like,
I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure this is worth exploring. I say we cut our losses and move on. This is a distraction that we don't need. Bunk met an unfortunate fate. I fully intend to meet with our pickup tomorrow. With or without
But the
Bunk.
meat is here, right?
Correct. But I
I'm
have-
gonna find Bunk.
No idea what is in this tunnel. I am sure it is some form of nefarious death. This is just something I don't need. I am this close. I don't need this. Bunk was a nice guy. He made great stew. I knew him for all of 36 hours. I don't need to do this.
He gave you that beautiful hat that you're wearing right now.
It is quite nice, and it kept me warm. But everyone dies. This is just how Bunk dies.
Bunk is like
and
90,
I can't
guys.
even assume that he is dead. But this is the end of my story with Bunk.
All right. I am going down there and looking for Bunk.
You are
I'm gonna
very
do-
brave, very gracious, and very stupid man.
Whatever, Peter. And he down in the hole.
Okay. So you hop down there, and this is not a trivial undertaking. Somebody went to an extraordinary effort to dig a tunnel underneath this stable. It's tall enough to stand in. It's not super tall. I mean, it's just tall enough. I'm assuming Silas is about 6 feet. It's tall enough for Silas to be able to walk standing upright. Not real wide, it's not, you're not walking 3 wide together. But it's tall enough for you to walk through this tunnel, to stand upright, walk through this tunnel. And it goes for about 20 yards before it starts to turn, and you're not really able to see what else is in the tunnel. But for the immediate sense, you get the impression that this tunnel goes on for a while.
So I would say up to the others gathered near the entrance of this thing up at top, like it goes for a ways, then it turns. I can't see where it leads. I'm unwilling to give up on Bunk, so I'm gonna go ahead. I understand if you guys don't want to.
I'm gonna do the exact opposite of what I think Bunk would do if the roles were reversed. And I'm gonna go after Bunk.
I'm not sure I followed that, but I assume you're jumping in the tunnel is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think Bunk would leave me to die.
I
but
gotcha.
I'm gonna go after him.
Marcus is very confused. Why is this person so important to everything else that we're doing right now?
Why is what person
It-
important? Bunk?
Yeah, what I'm asking Marcus is asking Silas, like, why would you do this? Like, we're at the end of time. It's kill or be killed. What did he give you for you to do this for him?
Bunk is the closest thing to family or community that I have left in this world. I am gonna go after my friend.
But you don't even know that he's down there.
Do you see any other signs? Like I'm open to suggestion, but this is my best lead currently.
But from what I've gathered in the time that I've been with y'all, before all this, before you met him, he was a master of hiding in plain sight and no one knowing that he was like there. What makes you think that he didn't just do that and he's fucked off again?
When you described the area where I first found tracks, did you say anything about it looking like a struggle or like?
Mm, I would say that you wouldn't have identified it specifically as a struggle, but it was the only thing that it seemed recent enough in terms of just, you know, for a stable that hasn't been used in, you know, what you assume would be decades. The disturbance on the floor indicates that this is the only logical path that could lead to Bunk.
So
The tracks look fresh, is what I'm saying.
yeah, those tracks were fresh, and I found his multi-tool. You guys know how much he loved using this multi-tool to butcher animal carcasses. Like, I don't think he like would leave this behind on purpose, unless it was some sort of way to get somebody to bend over and pick something up while he like clubbed him over the head with a bat. But I didn't get clubbed. I called out. I didn't find him. Like, he didn't answer back. I'm just worried about my friend right now, so I'm gonna go.
So you think that there's the possibility of more people than what the three we just saw and killed? You think he's been taken?
It's possible, or he found something interesting as a way to hide and he explored it. I mean, the guy lived in a bunker for a while. This might feel like home.
So Marcus would look to Peter at this point and say, "Hey, you said we've got a day before you turning the horseshoe over your correspondence with the people that are going to distract us from here. We've got time. If Silas says that we need to go get Bunk, we need to go.
You
Are you
are
coming with us?"
welcome to explore this. What I can only assume is a pathway to death. I have a nice. By myself, it will be much easier to hide from any threats, quite frankly. I'm not sure I see a need to go down into this very sinister, dark tunnel to look for an old man who, at best, will probably live another 12 months.
Well, just so you know, I'm taking this coyote with me.
It's like, yes, you take the coyote, whatever you need. I am going to meet my extraction. I don't need this distraction.
You don't need an extraction distraction?
Correct.
10-4, good buddy. You don't think that this tunnel might be related to your extraction?
Give me a give you a persuasion roll.
He's not a persuasive person. We'll try that though.
This is the extraction. And they just grabbed the wrong guy.
Okay.
So
Peter pauses for a minute, and he just sort of like,
I hadn't considered that. I will take the rear position. You mooks can be up front and take any bullets that come at you. But I will follow you.
Okay.
Until such time that I believe that this is nothing more than a folly. Lead
Would
the
anyone
way.
happen to have a flashlight?
well, yeah, I mean, as far as you can tell, the entire thing is lit by those work lights.
Okay.
Yeah, it's lit. I mean, it's not a dark tunnel. It's lit.
If it's lit and these are I'm assuming electrified, do we try to find the source of the power?
You can do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, sure. I mean, that is an option available to you. Yes.
We also still haven't looted the bodies.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you guys want to loot the bodies, like I already jumped in the hole like an asshole,
Yeah, you're.
so
I think Peter dragged one of them close to us, and uh, there was one that was still out there that maybe I was close to.
There are two more. There are two more bodies out in
The dead body that they shot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the dead body that was sort of like friendly fired, or not friendly fired. They got in a fight and he got shot.
yeah,
And then there's
no longer friendly fire.
the old boy that Silas put down.
So I also forgot I did shoot, so I do need to roll
Oh,
ammo,
right.
and I'm at a D6, so
Ooh, this is gonna be
may
very
have
interesting.
and they have a necessity of going to loot bodies for ammo.
I need Marcus to make sweet. I need Marcus to make an ammo roll too.
Yeah. So mine is a D8. So is that just a straight D8
Yeah,
roll?
just roll a D8. As long as you don't roll a 1 or a 2, you're fine.
I got a 3.
Perfect. Okay.
I got an 8.
Sweet.
You magically make more bullets. Hand me some bullets.
So, you guys are both fine in terms of ammo. You want to go loot these bodies?
Yes.
Everybody but Silas. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in silence. Okay.
I mean, I can get out of the hole. It's like
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you're not without means.
so. I make an ammo check real quick, and I'm like, I better go look.
Okay,
So I'll
perfect.
loot one of the bodies.
Okay.
I'll loot the guy that I plugged.
Okay.
I just keep assuming that Silas is Imthram and he's gonna try to climb the ladder and fall and take 8 bludgeoning. Sorry.
Call back to another game.
Sorry.
Uh,
Inside NBA.
okay, so yeah, the guy that you put down. The first two things that you find are 9mm pistol, and in the pistol, let's say there are 3 rounds left, but you do on his body also find a full magazine. So there would be, I don't know, I guess like 15 or so in the magazine for this 9mm.
We're not tracking bullet by bullet, so does that
Right,
like up
that's
me
true.
from a D6 to a D8 or something?
I would say just use. How would we do this? Just track your guns separately. And so the 9mm would be. Oh, fuck it. Yes. Just put yourself from D6 to, let's say, let's say D8. D8. Give me so you're looting the body. Give me a D6 roll. 3. You find a pack of cigarettes that is half empty. A lighter, like a just a regular old plastic Bic lighter, and a rusty harmonica.
It's got to be something in Urban Dictionary.
Well, he didn't have space on his person to be concealing a trombone. All right. So that's that dude. You guys, 2 more bodies to.
Dorian, are you gonna check yours?
Yeah. What do I need to roll?
So the guy, the let's say the guy that got gunned down by his own folks. On this guy, you find a 38 revolver with D6 ammo, and give me a D6 roll. Four. You find a Swiss Army pocket knife and a collapsible set of like tide flies for fishing. Like it's in like, it looks like a really fancy old cigarette case that would fold in half, but it's inside it when you open it up. It's got like tide flies for fishing. It's like a silver case.
Cool.
And then Marcus, the guy you put down. Immediately, the first thing you find on this guy, in terms of weaponry, is again another 9mm pistol with, let's say, D8. What's your current ammo level?
Ammo level is a D8,
All right,
and I've got a 9mm in my backpack.
Oh, you
that
do?
I think that I can't. I think we.
Oh, I remember
the
what this
guy that
is.
we came across.
Yeah, this is the pistol that Bunk gave to Frank.
The husband.
Frank,
Yeah.
So that didn't have any bullets in it. Like Bunk had specifically taken all of the ammunition out of that pistol. So I would say that if you're already at D8, just stay at D8 for ammo.
Okay, but add the 9mm.
Add the 9mm to your
weapons?
inventory. Yeah. So now you have 2 9mm.
And if I put those together, I've got
You got a super
18
9mm.
millimeters.
Then give me a D6 roll.
That's a shit.
That's nothing. You search this guy's body, and all you find is lint in his pockets.
All right.
That's probably why they
Well-
shot him. Or no, wait, this is the guy you shot. Never mind. So anyway,
Oh.
after looting the bodies, you guys find, a few weapons. Some fishing lures, or not lures, but flies, and I don't remember what else I gave you guys. I have the short-term
So I
memory of
asked,
goldfish.
is anybody a smoker? I don't need these cigarettes.
Oh, cigarettes, that's right.
This
I'll
guy's
take
a
one.
magician. He definitely smoked. Yep, there he goes.
So throw those cigarettes in your inventory, and I would say use these as a resource at D6. So every time you want to have a little puffy puff. I don't know if anybody's told you, but they're bad for you. But you have.
So
D6.
Shane, did you take those?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep the lighter though. You already got matches.
Yeah.
I also need to unload so I can carry this pistol. Does anybody want either a set of brass knuckles or a knife?
So this would be like a proper hunting knife, like a
Yes.
blade that's like this long. Not like
Serrated?
a serrated. You mean the back side of the blade would be serrated? Sure, let's say yeah.
So we've got 3 weapon slots. Can we only hold 3 weapons at a time in our weapons?
Well, the number
and
of
then have more in the back.
the total number of items that you can carry is twice your strength. And then your backpack can carry an additional number of items that's twice your strength.
I'm going to bow out of holding this because my strength is 2,
See?
and I've already got a hunting rifle and 2 9mm. So
Yeah, I would say that I mean, you can throw stuff in your backpack. Your backpack gives you the ability to hold more stuff. It's just that anything that's in your backpack specifically requires time to take your pack off, get into it. So
to equip.
so like in combat, anything that's in your backpack is fucking useless. But anything that's on your just on your person, you could access immediately.
So Dorian, you've already got plentiful knives. I'll take this if you don't need it or want it.
What is the? I'm just trying to look up the stats of the knife versus the bat.
The bat is way better.
Okay, I'll keep the bat then.
That is way better.
Yeah, you can have the knife. I got my throwing ones.
We call this a hunting knife.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Knife. Fancy as fuck knife. All right, so you guys picked up a few items after clearing out these, these folks that were coming to check the coyote trap. You have discovered a tunnel, and as far as Silas is concerned, all signs point to Bunk being somewhere in this tunnel. Peter initially was very hesitant about following you into this tunnel, but upon Silas's very crafty argument with respect to how do you know this isn't part of your extraction, Peter has agreed to follow you into the tunnel. So are we making our way back to the tunnel?
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Ryan, you seem like you're hurting yourself with these pizza rolls. Like you are like fucking punishing yourself.
So I
gonna be
quit
okay?
drinking.
You gonna make it?
Now I've started drinking again, and then I was dipping the pizza rolls into some hot sauce. So I'm just a glutton for punishment. So
Okay. Into the tunnel. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. What is our marching order, so to speak? Because this isn't wide enough for you guys to stand side by side. It's spacious enough that you can walk single file comfortably, but it is not wide. So what's our marching order, so to speak?
I'm in no shape to be a human shield, but this is my expedition, so I guess I'm up front.
Wow. Okay.
and Peter's like determined to be in the back. So if he has to leave, like he first one out, last one in, kind of thing.
Yeah, he was going to be in the back.
Yeah. So, LIFO inventory stack, I guess.
Yeah, I don't trust Dorian enough at this point, so I think it should be Silas, Dorian, me,
Okay.
Peter.
Perfect.
Who
Sounds
I
great.
also don't trust, but
Yeah, I would say that's a safe that's a safe disposition to have about Peter. Okay, so you guys head down into the tunnel. Like I said, it is lit with these work lights that are sort of hanging from the ceiling of this tunnel. And it's not like these are really like finely carved. This is just literally like looks like somebody hacked this out with a shovel and a pickaxe. There are no support beams holding this tunnel up. This is just a roughly dug tunnel underneath the ground. It is illuminated by some work lights.
reminds me of a trick I did before the Civil War where we buried me alive and I had to get out in a 30-minute special. I successfully did it. And I don't know if you guys saw it on TV or not. Anybody? No? It was great. It was my highest viewed show.
This is real television and not like some fake app station on a streaming service of some sort. Like, did more than 7 people see this?
More than 7?
Yes.
Well, I don't have the numbers on me.
It was a joke. I didn't care about your answer at all. I was making fun of you directly. Anyway, so Silas is leading this expedition down this tunnel.
Yeah, pistol out,
'Kay.
ready to rumble.
So you follow this tunnel, and as like I said, it starts out, and it goes for about, 30 feet or so, and then it makes a hard bend to the right. And it's not like this is it's not a branching tunnel where like your options were to go left or right. It just curves hard to the left. Give me an insight roll, Silas, since you're out front.
Well, that's no good.
Boom. Okay. So just intuitively, based on your surroundings when you got into the tunnel, you know that this turn in this tunnel is taking you south. But you make this turn and you come around the turn, and you see it is straight and it is long for a ways. Like, as much as it's illuminated, it's not real bright. So, the darkness eventually just sort of like envelops the work lights, and but this tunnel goes as far as you can tell. It just keeps heading straight. And if
Like,
you were
looking around, it would be plain to see if somebody, like, are we in a position where we would see from a ways off if somebody was coming towards us from either direction?
Oh yeah, I mean it is a straight hallway. Like, there's
no. Okay, so I turn around and I'm like, guys, this turn is heading south, which is the direction that we came from, which is also the direction that we ran into Vanguard patrols. They are somewhat of a military-style organization, so they may have the wherewithal to build tunnels.
So, are you saying you want to turn back, or just giving us a heads up on what to expect?
I just want you guys. I'm cluing you into what I think could be ahead of us. I'd like to explore a little bit further, but be cautious. And with that, I turn around and start going the other way.
Okay. So you guys start making your way down this tunnel. I need Silas to give me an observation roll. And you guys hike. You guys following this tunnel for a solid few minutes. We'll say like a solid 5 minutes. I need you to give me an observation roll. 6. Sweet. So you get to a point in this hallway, and you catch a glint of light at your feet. About ankle. You're just walking down this, and you see something on the floor, on the ground, maybe not necessarily on the ground, but you catch just out of your periphery a glint of light as you're walking down, and it's maybe 3 feet in front of you that this catches your eye.
I, tell everybody stop. I just saw something. I don't know exactly what it is yet, so I don't know if this place is trapped, but I want to. Can I take a real hard look at what in this direction? Like, is it a tripwire? Is it like a freaking mine or something?
Yeah. So, the glint, you catch it and you notice it. Stop and you sort of like investigate, and you do notice that there is a thin wire that is sort of like it looks like fishing line, but it's colored fishing line, and it has sort of like a reflective hue to it, which is kind of how you caught this glint of light. But outside of that, it would have been very, very easy to walk right into this. But you do see sort of like something that looks like fishing line that is strewn across the width of this particular section of like it's crossing your path is basically what I'm saying.
Is it discernible if it's connected to anything on either end of it? Does it go a ways? Is it just like a line, kind of like if you were to put, I don't know, like you see in like spy movies, they tape hair to a door jamb and a door, and then if you break the hair, you know that someone's been that direction.
So you inspect it a little bit further, and you do realize that it's anchored to the wall on your right, but then it runs through sort of like a small loop that's been tacked into the wall on your it's anchored on the left, and as it crosses the floor in front of you, it passes through a small, like almost like an eye bolt, but like really small. And then it runs up into a section of the wall on your right, and then it goes into the wall.
Can I tell if there's anything about this wall that looks like it would trigger something?
Give me, you know what? Yes, you can. Like, I mean, you're looking straight at it. It does look like where the line goes into the wall, that this has been dug out and repacked.
Okay, so I would also like to look, so if someone were to spot this, they would try and intentionally step over and maybe take a higher, longer stride. Do I see any other like secondary tripwires after this that would?
No.
Okay, so I alert the group. There's a tripwire. I think it's wired to something in the wall. Just be careful. Like, I make sure that I show exactly like where I see it, and that people should be cautious when they step over it.
Okay.
And then lead by example, do just that, and go.
Perfect. Yeah, and I mean, I don't think that there's a need to roll this. You guys see the tripwire. Silas points it out. All of you are, you don't have to be like an Olympic hurdler to get over this tripwire. Once Silas points it out. I'm sorry?
Would Bunk, who we're assuming we're following, would Bunk be able to pass over this without tripping it?
I mean, anybody that sees it would be able to avoid it. The question is,
he's full of whiskey and stew, like.
Indeed, he is.
We don't know if he was taken down here or if he just went down here. Just playing the game, man. Just following the rabbit down the hole.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that answers your question. But anyway, all of you are able to get past this tripwire. I mean, specifically, the key to avoiding it is just knowing that it's there. This is not a terribly daunting obstacle. So you guys all make it past this tripwire. Are you leaving it in place?
Guys, I have an idea.
Yeah, what's that?
Why don't I leave the coyote right here? So if we have to run back in a hurry, we'll know that there's a tripwire right after the coyote, and we can jump over the coyote and not trip on the tripwire.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
But we have to pick the coyote back up because I'm gonna want my hat after we get Bunk back.
Yeah.
Just make a note of that.
Yes. Duly noted.
All right. So
Yeah,
you guys.
when we come back through, you can make the coyote disappear.
Yeah.
So you guys follow. You guys make it past the. You guys drop the coyote as sort of like a cairn marker in this booby trap. And you keep following this tunnel. What?
Everybody, just like be sharp. We know that there's one trap, so there's bound to be more. Just keep your eyes peeled.
Sage advice. So you guys keep following this trail, this tunnel, not trail. And it goes again. You're walking for a solid 5 minutes. Like, this tunnel goes long. I mean, whoever dug this made a pretty significant effort to dig a pretty substantial tunnel. And as you get sort of towards past where you could initially see, you're coming up on a section where you can tell that it's branching off. It continues straight, and then it branches off to the right.
Am I able to see any fresh tracks, one direction or the other?
Ooh. Give me an observation roll.
Oh, fuck, I panicked. But I got a success.
You got a success. Okay, so roll me a d6 for the panic. Oh, no.
Oh no, it's bad.
So that's a total of 7. Let me look at my handy dandy little panic chart. So, like, the situation starts to become a little daunting for you. You're in a dark tunnel. You can't back up. You can barely turn around. There are people behind you. The only thing you do is move forward. And so you're starting to develop a sense of claustrophobia. And as this sort of claustrophobic sense comes over you, you start to develop a nervous twitch in your right hand. So you're going to gain an additional point of stress for this.
Oh, great.
But that's it. And you have a nervous twitch.
He said right hand?
Yeah, your right hand. Anyway, you did get a success despite the stress, the panic.
Yes.
So, like I said, the tunnel branches off to the right. Or you can continue to go straight. Observation. Sorry, I forgot what that roll was for. In the walls of the tunnel, you do see what looks like hand marks that are crawled into the wall that are pointing down, that lead down the hallway to the right.
All right, so I let the group know. It looks like somebody maybe just trying to claw their way free, possibly, but there are hand marks that are going in the direction in the hallway to the right. So I'm now getting a little bit worried, and I'm like, kind of doing one of these, like, I'm getting a little worried that Bunk may have been like taken down here.
Are you trying to misdirect me with your hand?
No,
I'm just gonna
no.
listen to you. I'm just gonna listen to your words.
Peter
Sorry.
kind of sees your handshake. He's like,
Are you all right? Should we be worried?
I'll be fine.
I'll be watching you.
Peter walks off. Takes the coyote.
That jerk.
yep.
All right, so I'm looking around. Is it like a bend, or is it just like?
It's pretty. I don't want to say it's a 90-degree turn. So if you're going south and you turn right, that would be heads east. But it's more of like a southeast than a due east.
Okay. All right, so if I remember the map right, I think this
Wait.
is going towards
Heading
Fraser if we're going southeast.
Yeah, east. Sorry, I had to mentally do the gymnastics to figure out which way you would be heading.
So I tell them, like, I think this heads towards where Fraser is. And if you remember, we overheard the Vanguard talking about some sort of blockade in Fraser. So evidence is mounting that we are headed. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I'm trying to put this in my head. So you were traveling south, turned right. Hallway, hey, retcon moment. It goes left, not right. Because to go east, if you're traveling south, you turn, no, if you're traveling south, you turn right.
Yeah.
West,
left.
it goes west. So the tunnel goes to the left because you are headed east now.
Towards Fraser.
Towards Fraser. Yes. Sorry.
That's cool.
I am
So
like the worst GM ever. I don't...
No. So we are headed towards Fraser. Evidence is definitely mounting that Vanguard is that way, and if you guys also remember, I told you that there's a possibility of avoiding immediate violence. So I'll have the passphrase ready, but if they say something that I don't know, then guns akimbo, motherfuckers. So
I can talk
draw
to you.
my 9 and start headed
Okay.
that direction.
So as you guys start heading down this hallway to the east, the echoes, because your footsteps carry to a certain extent, and it just sounds like the echoes are getting shorter, which implies that this tunnel is potentially you're coming to the end of this tunnel. I need everybody give me an observation roll.
Yes.
So Silas,
2 successes.
yeah, you're out front. And ahead of you, you can hear the sound of a scuffle. You can hear voices in the distance. And as you're trying to focus on what they're saying, you distinctly hear one of these voices say, "You don't know nothing about stew." And I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Nice.